Hey everybody, welcome back. Monday Morning Briefing, episode number 151, and it is Tuesday, October the 7th, 2025. We are back from Wichita Falls for the Boot and Saddle Makers Roundup that we were at last week. The show was Friday and Saturday. We got checked in Wednesday evening up there when we got there, and then Thursday spent the day setting up the booth and hanging out and doing that kind of thing. Got to see a lot of friends, and it's the last show of the year for us, so it's kind of our last run of the year, and so it's always a kind of a farewell till next year whenever we depart after the show and seeing all of our show family and stuff when we leave. Last time we'll see most of them, until Prescott in February. But it was a good show. They had a great turnout, and it was really neat. We had a little bit more room in the booth this year. If you came by the booth, you may have noticed we have a little bit more space. There was just some booth spaces that were available, and we were offered those if we wanted just a little more elbow room, and so we put that to use and kind of like that. It felt like I didn't bring enough stuff, but we brought the exact same amount of stuff for the most part that we always take, but just had a little bit more room. But got to meet a lot of great folks, got to see a lot of old friends and hang out and visit and catch up with people. Saw a friend of mine there that I went to college with, and he worked in the shop quite a bit with us and hung out. It was just kind of a good, consider him family. He's from up in that area, and I haven't seen him in probably 10 years. And so he came by the booth, I think on Saturday maybe, and we got to hang out, and he spent a good part of the day with us, and it was great to see him. Got to see meet some other new folks that I hadn't met before, but have done business with online and stuff like that, help them out with their leather projects. So that was a lot of fun. But we did pick up a few things. I didn't really buy a whole lot, but Claudia and my daughter went shopping, and they got some leather from Chris Andre. He had a bunch of really, really nice bag leathers. I knew he was bringing them. He had mentioned to me that he was bringing a bunch of bag leather to the show, and I thought that's great because we're always looking for something kind of neat just to have on the shelf for whatever projects we might run across. But the girls took off at one point during the day, I think on Friday, and they went over there and scoped out what he had, and they bought a good little pile of leather from him, and really, really nice stuff. This is like a green bag leather, probably around a 4 to 6 ounce. Kind of got a little bit firmer temper to it, got some decent little pull up on it, just like a really, really deep forest green. And then she also bought this tan type colored leather here, I think. Really pretty, and it's a little lighter. It's probably around a 3 ounce or so. And then she got this baby blue. It's almost gray. It's so light. But again, probably around a 3 to 4 ounce. It would make a great little bag, or maybe even some wristlet purses. We might make some of those for Christmas. I just kind of like this color. I think with certain tooled, maybe painted pieces and stuff like that, be a really, really good leather for something like that. And then another piece of green here that she got. She just really kind of just trying to begin a collection, bag leathers. When it comes to bag leathers, you really can't have enough. You see something you like, you better grab it, because sometimes on that stuff, when you see it, it may be an odd lot kind of thing. Maker's Leather Supply does a lot of odd lot sales. Those are great times where if you see something that really catches your eye, you probably ought to buy it, because they may only have 4 or 5 sides of it, and then you may never see that a particular type again. And so she's getting that figured out. And now when she sees something, she goes ahead, and if she can, she goes ahead and gets it, and that way she's got it. As far as the saddle competition, boot competition, they had a lot of entries. It was a really good turnout, I felt like. We're not the ones that run that saddle show, so I don't know all the numbers, but it seemed to me they had just as many as last year. It was really good. A lot of great quality work in there. Met a bunch of the guys that were in there, from beginners up to the open classes, and just some really, really good work. I was really impressed with the beginners category this year. There seemed to be some really good ones in there, and everybody just really brought their best game, and I really think it was a really good show. So spoke with a few of y'all while we were there, and I got to look at some of y'all saddles and visit with you some about them. And that's the whole point of going to these saddle competitions, is to be able to kind of rub shoulders with some of those guys. And and when you're there, I'm always looking to see who I can get some advice from, and when you're looking at stuff, and it's really, really nice to have those guys there that have been doing it a long time, and be able to they're relaxed, they're having a good time. Take a minute, and they'll kind of tell you what they want to change or what they would work on and stuff like that. And those critiques are just they're they're priceless. They're really, really important. And so that's why we do the competitions, but it's also a competition. So you try to do your best to try to build the best quality product that you can. For many, many years, we took a saddle to that show, and we were always taking, whatever saddle happened to be on the rack that week, right, that we had gotten done. We just carry up there whatever we had for customer, and it always worked out great. But sometimes it's fun to just build one for that show. So we did win the open floral category this year again, so we were really excited about that. It was really cool. We did have a rough out in there as well. The man that won the for the working cowboy saddle, the man that won that, got to meet him real briefly. I didn't get a whole lot of time to really visit with him, but that saddle caught my eye whenever I was walking through at one point during the show, and that saddle was really clean. Just a really, really pretty saddle. Had some buck stitching on it, all brass hardware, brass bell stirrups, just really clean lines. He did a phenomenal job on that saddle, and it was a really, really nice rig. And as far as the show, if you're curious, I don't know if we talked about it last year, but when you win the category at Wichita Falls in particular, we did win a buckle again this year, so we do have that, and we're always glad to have that, because I'm going to try to build a belt, or not try, I'm going to build a belt to match this saddle. We took the same saddle that we took to the World Leather debut, so we will build a belt or I'll build a belt for myself for this buckle that'll be tooled and finished just like that saddle, and that'll be kind of my keepsake, going forward. Unless I get fatter, or something, belt don't fit anymore, but it'll be my keepsake as far as like that way. At least I have something. If that saddle sells, I've got a belt that reminds me of kind of what that saddle might have looked like, at least artwork wise. But we did take that one, and that's the one that we won with. But just kind of go through kind of what happens at Wichita Falls in particular. All the saddle competitions are a little bit different, right? So their prizes are different, or whatever your monies that you win or anything like that. Wichita Falls, you don't really win any money, but you do win, the buckle, and then usually these great companies that are there will donate or throw in to the prizes, the prize package for the boot and saddle competition at Wichita Falls. And so first off, as far as winning that, I think everybody got kind of something a little bit different, I think, for the categories. But as far as my experience and what we received was Lewis Leather Sales donated this really, really nice caiman skin here, and it's really clean, really pretty. I love this color, this brownish color here. I really, really like that. I've had a couple of these from Robert, bought them from him, and for many years now, he's pretty much my exotic dealer when I need some exotics. But caiman's a lot of fun. I'm thinking about burning this one up for an inlaid seat in a saddle next year, just to build one to sell, but put a caiman seat in there. I don't know. Maybe I will. May do something else with it. But thank you, Robert. It's a really, really nice skin, and we'll definitely put that to use. There was also some sheepskin donated that we drew for. Didn't win one of those, but Rockin' Out Hardware donated a set of saddle conchos to, I think, every category in there. So we just got to give them a call, tell them which ones we want. We get those, a full set of those, which is always great because he makes beautiful saddle hardware and conchos and things. And then Thoroughbred Leather donated a side of leather, your choice, whatever side of leather you want. So we'll call them and let them know, which worked out perfect because I need some Latigo. And so we will be giving Jeff Ballard with Thoroughbred Leather. We'll be giving him a call, get that on its way. And then, occasionally, sometimes at this show, they'll have some trees available. Last year, we did win a saddle tree from South Texas Saddle Tree, which that was great. We got that tree in, just trying to come up with some ideas on what to build on it. So, but yeah, these saddle competitions are all a little bit different, and the prize package, can vary a lot whenever you do that, but it's really worth going, not so much for that, really. We're all appreciative and want to thank everybody that donates to these saddle competitions, wherever you are, whatever competitions they're donating to, these companies, because it really, gives the maker an opportunity. Maybe they haven't done business with them before, but it also, is supporting the industry and the trades to get these guys encouraged to bring a saddle and enter, which is always a good deal. Help these competitions grow. But the main thing that we're going there for is those critiques and that experience and getting that saddle, getting your work in front of other craftsmen. We've seen, I always say every year when we go to Wichita Falls, we get to see our heroes. These are guys that we've known, or at least for me personally, these are guys that I've known of or maybe have met in the past. I've been doing this for over 20 years now, so there's a lot of these guys that you've heard of their saddles. You've seen them maybe at an event or something like that, maybe had a chance to meet them. But this event here is where you kind of really can spend some time with them, get to know them a little bit, and kind of visit with them in person, and that's a lot of fun. So those critiques and that experience and being able to kind of bounce some ideas off those guys, put your work in front of them, say, what did I do wrong? You know, what can I improve on this ride here? You know, I'm not happy with this, you tell me, you know, and that dialogue right there is very, very beneficial. So we love going to them. You know, as I told Claudia, I said, if we're going to build one every year to show and compete with, but, you know, at some point, you know, you're building those, or at least I'm building one for that purpose only, where if it sells, great, but we're not really marketing those saddles very hard. We're mainly just trying to build something that's maybe a little out of my lane, maybe a little out of my normal build, just because I want to push myself in my craft, and it's hard to get a customer to foot that bill, right? So if all I've got in is material and time, really, then but I get that experience and that mileage out of it, that's what we're in it for, and that's what we're trying to work on. That's not about that. That Wichita Falls, great. If you didn't go this year and you've been wanting to go, but just weren't able to make it this year, put it on the books for next year. It's a very, very good show. Mrs. Kimmel does an amazing job with the show. We're really thankful to her that she continues to every year just make this show as good as it is, and she always really caters to the vendors and really does a good job of layout and communicating with us if there's anything popping up or anything like that before we get there, and she's just great. We just love her and her family, just really, really nice folks, and that show's got a lot of history. So if you haven't been there, put it on the books for next year. It's usually, check the dates, but it's usually the very first weekend in October. So however that falls, that's when it's going to be. It's a 2-day, Friday, Saturday, Wichita Falls, Texas. Great show, a lot of professionals, a lot of hobbyists, a lot of crafters, a lot of vendors, just a lot of stuff. They did have seminars. I always forget that, but they do have a few seminars during the day, and they give away door prizes all day long. So just a great time. As far as what we've been doing since we got back Sunday. We don't get no big hurry coming back. It's still about a 7-hour drive for us from Wichita Falls. So, we get up in the morning, go get some breakfast, and then we get headed south. And we got here about 5:30, and unloaded the trailer, just kind of dumped everything out in the back of the shop, and then went home and just relaxed and barbecued a little bit and hung out, and then got back in here yesterday and started filling orders from us being gone. And Robin did a great job, as usual, of getting out the bulk of everything, trying to keep everything moving while we were gone. And then Monday we finished up, cut a lot of stuff. Had a big cut sheet from her on Monday, so we cut stuff, restocked the bins, and just getting ready for our sale this weekend. So that every time that we have a show, we usually will run a sale that next weekend, and so we're doing that this weekend. So starting Friday and running through Sunday until midnight, we will have our post-show sale. So the weekend after a show weekend, we offer our same show discount that we do at the shows, which is 15% off, 15% off your order. And so we offer that. We're going to offer that this weekend. That'll be Friday through Sunday. And we'll be, all the bins are full as far as I know. I still got leather to cut, and we've still got plenty of product. So, and we even have our wool skins back in stock. Robert was at the show. He had a whole pile of sheepskins, and he had a bunch of the, they're just really bad skins, right? The wool's fine on them and everything, but they're just not very big, or they're cut weird, or something's wrong with them, so he can't sell them for like saddle shirling, for saddle skirts and stuff. And so those are the ones I buy because you guys always tend to need these. And so I'll buy those when he has them. They try not to make those, right? They don't purposefully want bad ones, but when he does have them, I'll buy them. Well, I lucked out, and he had a whole pile there that didn't sell at the show. He sold a lot of them at the show, but he had a pretty good pile left, and he was like, "Do you want those?" And I was like, "Yes, I will take them back because that'll be perfect. We're having a sale." So we will have these on the website. I'm just going to wait till Friday because if I put them on there now, everybody's going to buy them up, and you won't get your 15% off. So 15% off sale starts on Friday, not today. So we're going to go ahead and just wait. So if you need these, just be ready Friday morning, and you can get on there and get them. I think I've got 50 packages of them or something. I cut up 10 or 12 skins, so we've got quite a few on there. But pattern packs, our material packs. You won't need a coupon code for our sale this weekend or anything like that. As usual, just get on there and it'll give you your show discount and when you check out. And so any material packs, acrylics, anything like that. The only thing that's not included in this sale is our online courses. We don't run those on sale very often, and it's usually only around Christmas time for our Black Friday sale, which is going to be coming up faster than we think. So, but anyway, those will not get a discount this weekend. But everything else, if you're on our online store on our website, and you need something, hopefully you're needing lots of material. We've had a lot of people buying quite a few material packs this last week. And I'm hoping it's because, and I'm talking about like people buying like 4 or 5 belt material packs, 3 or 4 gunslings. I'm hoping people are doing that because they're getting orders, right? I hope you're getting Christmas orders and you're trying to fill your orders, which is great because these material packs will really keep your costs fixed, where you don't have a lot of scrap, you don't have a lot of waste. You just buy this, make the product, and you get paid, right? And it fixes your costs for you, and saves you time too. You don't have to cut it out. So that's what we're hoping. I'm hoping everybody's rolling, for Christmas. I'm hoping everybody's calling and stuff. We've had a few calls here. I don't take Christmas orders. We're not taking anything for Christmas. So I'm pushing stuff out to you guys. So there's a number of you guys out there that I don't know if they're calling or not, but there's a few that, folks I know that are kind of semi-local for those kind of folks here that they'll want a belt or they'll want this or that. And we just refer them to people just because I want to be, we're too busy in the shop working on other stuff and then trying to keep you guys with content and product and things like that I don't really take a lot of custom orders. So, but hopefully you guys are. I'm hoping everybody's calling and getting ready for the Christmas season and getting their Christmas gifts ordered. But yeah, sale this weekend. What else? There's other stuff going on. Prescott, we are going to Prescott in February. That's a long ways off, I know, but it's kind of fresh on mind because we've got some fun things that might happen at Prescott, some fun things that we're doing, and just going to start getting ready. Once we get past our Black Friday, we'll really kind of gear down and get focused on Prescott and trying to get ready for that. But we will be there, and they will post the classes for that probably end October, beginning November, I think. I don't know. You can always call the Leather Crafters Journal or go on their website and just keep checking that. They will post that schedule this fall. So if you're wanting to take a class with us or any of the other amazing instructors that are there for that show, that's a fun show too. If you haven't been to Prescott, it's a lot of fun. It's in the mountain or on the mountain, I guess, or whatever it is out there, and it's really pretty country, great weather when we were there. I know a few years back they had kind of a blizzard or snow problem and stuff, so that kind of posed some issue, but for the 2 or 3 times we've been there, it's been amazing. So it's a really good show. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to be in the shop the rest of the week. I do have a class on Friday. So if you're coming to the class, we look forward to seeing you, and you'll get to take advantage of the sale while you're here. If you want to, you'll be here is what I mean. You can, pick out what you need or whatever. You can just kind of pick it out yourself and save on the shipping. But we are doing a class. It's a drawing class. So a lot of people at Wichita Falls were talking about asked me when I was going to do another drawing class, because that seems to be popular right now. People want to really take that. And this class is limited, right? We don't have very many spots, and it's sold out right now, but we didn't have very many spots in there. We are going to do the drawing class more next year. So we've made our fall schedule. Those are the only 3 that we're offering this fall is the drawing, the belt, and the beginner's tooling. But for next year, we will be doing more drawing classes too. So there'll be opportunities if you're interested in coming here to take a drawing class with me, just a one-day, working on the mechanics of it and the design and layout of drawing floral patterns. It's a fun class. It's just a paper and pencil class. There's we're not whooping on any leather or anything like that. And we will be teaching that class next year at the shows as well. So be on the lookout for that. If you are going to a show, we will have that class offered. But yeah, we got that going on Friday, and then this weekend, just monitoring the sale, working in here. I'm working on some saddles. I've got a couple more I'm going to start, and I'm thinking about starting my saddle for the World Leather debut next year. I just got to come up with some ideas. I've got a few rattling around in the melon, but nothing definite yet. So nothing really that I'm just jazzed up about just yet, but we'll start working on that, and because you've got a little bit more time with that. I don't have to wait till January to get that one started. So we're excited to do that. But yeah, guys, that's really all we got going. We did clean a little bit today. We're going to be cleaning a lot come Thursday to get ready for the class, and getting a little bit of cooler weather, but mainly just back home. And we're home for the rest of the year, so we're working on stuff with the family and, you know, at the house. And I got fall projects that were supposed to be summer projects, but summer got crazy and we were busy and it was hot. It was really, really hot. And so some of those didn't get done, so they're on the books to get done this fall, so we're going to work on that. But I want to thank everybody that came by the booth. Like I said, saw some old friends, made some new friends, a lot of new friends, met some really great folks. You guys, if I took a picture with you, shook your hand, visited with you and stuff like that, thank you for taking the time to stop and visit with me and coming in the booth, and we really always enjoy that. And but we'll look forward to being there next year for sure. Otherwise, we're going to get back at it. I'm going to get back at it here and try to get some more stuff ready to go for the sale and for the class on Friday. Be sure to go to dgsaddlery.com, sign up for the Leathercraft newsletter, and we'll see you guys in the next Monday morning briefing.